Hey yo, Shuri becoming Black Panther was always the plan for Marvel, while they had even bigger plans for T'Challa leading into Secret Wars. But look, Marvel is never going to recast this T'Challa, but it's becoming more and more obvious that we'll be getting a new one instead via the multiverse. And knowing what we know now, A, that the multiverse exists with hella versions of T'Challa out there, and B, Secret Wars will come out before the next Black Panther movie, I think the big picture plans that Marvel had before Chadwick passed are still very much intact. And now that they have Shuri as Black Panther, like all that's left is T'Challa. But when will the King make his return to the MCU? I have a theory on how we could get a new T'Challa for Secret Wars and how he could finish 616 T'Challa's character arc without a recast. What's up, it's Kendall with Normies and Nerds. Please hit that subscribe button because we're grinding to our first 1,000 subs. And when we hit that 1,000 subs, I'm giving away a free $100 gift card. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel to enter to win. So I have two theories on when and how T'Challa could come back before Secret Wars, and they involve two different movies. One via a Doctor Strange 3 movie, and the other being Secret Wars itself. So first up, let's talk Doctor Strange 3 because bruh, I think that movie will be one of the final lead-ups to Secret Wars, and if it's anything like the Time Runs Out run, we need T'Challa. So first, let's think about where Doctor Strange left off after his own movie, right? Like he's going with Clea to try and stop incursions throughout the multiverse. And I can see it going down like this, like after going through the multiverse and trying to stop incursions from happening, Doctor Strange comes to a point to where he continuously fails to stop them from occurring. And I can see Strange and Clea being like, hey, we need a new strategy. And this is where Doctor Strange will start to look for help through the multiverse and form a group called the Illuminati. And I know 838 introduced us to the Illuminati already, but I think the key factor here is the multiverse. Because after dealing with the 838 Illuminati, I can see Strange forming a group with heroes from different destroyed timelines. He could get like a Tom Cruise Iron Man or a different version of Black Bolt, but more importantly, a new Black Panther. And bruh, like if that is something that Doctor Strange is actually doing, I believe we could possibly even see a new T'Challa before a Doctor Strange 3 movie, like in a post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four. Look, let me piece this all together right. A post-credit scene like that would propel for the Fantastic Four, and more importantly, a Reed Richards into the Secret Wars storyline. Like imagine Doctor Strange coming through a portal, telling Reed that the multiverse is collapsing, and we need you to join us and stop it. And then Reed responds with the question, who is we? That's when you have different members of the Illuminati stepping out of the portal before a Black Panther walks out last for a huge ass fan reaction in the theater. Like I said earlier, we can jump right from that post-credit scene and go right into Doctor Strange 3. That is really an adaptation of Time Runs Out. Like that would give T'Challa a chance to fit right in with a lot of fan favorites that we would already have before interacting with 616 Wakandans. It'd also be a perfect time to fill in a little bit of his backstory of what happened in his Wakanda from his Earth, by way of having T'Challa tell his story to Reed Richards about how his universe was destroyed by an incursion. That gives us an avenue to have these epic moments that we get in Time Runs Out that goes down between characters like T'Challa and Namor, or the interactions that we see between T'Challa and Reed, and interactions with the rest of the Illuminati. Not to mention, it puts T'Challa in a place to have a huge ass role for Secret Wars itself. And that leads me to my next theory, that a new T'Challa would make his appearance in Secret Wars. And even though this theory isn't as fleshed out as him appearing in Doctor Strange 3, I think this is likely the more realistic option, being that we're getting speculation of Ryan Coogler directing the Secret Wars movie. And I'll be honest here, like with him appearing in Secret Wars, it has to be a moment that turns the tide in the battle for the entire multiverse, right? Like if Kang is still the villain at that point, it would be T'Challa who steps in and defeats him, even though I think Kang being defeated would lead to Doom and Wanda having a way to win Secret Wars. Anyway, if they go this route and having the King return to the MCU by just sticking a new recast of T'Challa in Secret Wars, there will have to be another way to make people understand his character and his backstory, which could be done through What If. But like I said, if Secret Wars is already supposed to be as wild as we are thinking, adding a new T'Challa to this movie, bruh. And I know the Doctor Strange theory was more fleshed out than the Secret Wars one, but either way, like I said earlier, I think this leads us down a path where we get a new T'Challa that can finish up the story that Chadwick Boseman started for 616 T'Challa without making many adjustments in the MCU. Because first off, since I believe that Secret Wars will result in the multiverse being condensed into one, that's right, like with mutants and all that, you can bring a new T'Challa into the main timeline and just fit him right in, like, you know, a little soft reboot. And you know, it doesn't even really have to be that wild, right? Like, say the multiverse still existed after Secret Wars. They can simply insert multiversal T'Challa into the 616, meaning that his universe could still be destroyed by the incursions. You can't tell me that just putting someone from the multiverse in another universe is problematic. Look at What If. Like, the Watcher simply put Black Widow in a new timeline after her universe was destroyed. And if they do that with T'Challa, like, I think it would put him in a situation where he is in Wakanda where Shuri could still be serving as a Black Panther. And where my mind is going with that is the King of the Dead character arc for T'Challa, which, like I said at the beginning of this video, was the plan for Black Panther the entire time. Because that King of the Dead run took place leading up to Time Runs Out in Secret War. And in the comics, Shuri became the Black Panther as T'Challa passed the mantle on to her after being wounded in battle. However, T'Challa and Reed Richards go into the land of the dead and meets Bast. Bast examines T'Challa's desires and determines that he wants to be Black Panther again, and she makes him King of the Dead and leaves Shuri to be Black Panther and Queen of Wakanda. And look, I know that's a very oversimplified version of that run, but you have to go check it out. Like, that Jan is dope. But I can see them adapting that story for a post-Secret Wars Black Panther 3 movie, except there'll likely be a bit of changes to make it work around the King of the Dead title out of respect for the legacy that Chadwick has left. But anyway, this would help us bring a T'Challa back into the main MCU without stripping Shuri of the mantle. And bro, it's very possible that they were going to be doing this down the road anyway, even before Chadwick passed. I mean, think back to the first Black Panther. Like, after that movie, a lot of people thought that one day Shuri would become the next Black Panther. And knowing what we know now, that Secret Wars is the big plan for the MCU, I think it's only natural to assume that they would have adapted a lot of Black Panther's story that sets up Secret Wars. I mean, we already have it playing out right in front of our eyes. Like, look at the beef with Namor. Think about Doom wanting to get his hands on vibranium and having Shuri as Black Panther. All of these things are going down right in front of our faces right now. So if these things are already in motion, I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that they were planning a lot of this regardless of whether or not Chadwick had passed. But either way, like, these theories could easily help us get T'Challa's character arc back on track, because we absolutely need him before, during, and after Secret Wars happens. But hey, that's how I think they could insert a multiversal T'Challa into the MCU. But let me know what you think of how they could pull that off, and also let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Remember, hit that subscribe button and enter for a chance to win that $100 GameStop gift card that'll be going out when we hit 1,000 subs. Look, I appreciate y'all for hanging with your boy, and I'll see you in the next one.